Hey guys, Scrublord here, and welcome to another episode of Scrub Souls. In this episode, we're going to be going through the Ashes of Ariandel DLC for Dark Souls 3, and I will attempt to get every single item and spell and whatnot throughout this playthrough, and try to edit it as much as possible to keep it short. But this area is pretty difficult. I imagine some people need some pointers, and I'll try to give them to you. Bed of Chaos, anyone? This guy that jumps down here, it seems like he would be weak to fire, but he's actually weak to lightning. But you know what he's even weaker to? Running the fuck away. And he's really weak to ladders. There's only one bonfire in the Corvian settlement, and it's right here. But there are a lot of shortcuts, and I'll show you where all of them are. When you first head into the Corvian settlement, you'll run into a Corvian that's got a real nasty weapon that does both range and melee, and I'll show you a way to cheese him later on. But for now, you just want to head past here, try to avoid all this stuff, and make your way to this ladder here. And from the rooftop, you'll be able to access this bridge, go through this building, and get your first weapon of the area. The Crow Talons. Back at the bridge, you'll find your first shortcut of the game. This will take you directly back to the bonfire. And here I'll show you how to cheese this irritating Corvian. He's not that hard to kill. If you just go ahead and cheese him through the wall. You can fight him straight up. He's weak to lightning like the other one. But if you go down here and just go ahead and run around this building, he'll run into it, and you can just cheese him through the window. Watch this. Came up with that all on my own. So back to the rooftops, you just need to go ahead and go through this door, and you'll find another shortcut, but it's not much of a shortcut. It just leads you to another item. The Slave Knight set. Before we leave the lower area, you'll find a bridge to the left of the bonfire on the lower level, and that's going to lead you to another weapon. That down there is not it. That's a simple gem, so go ahead and skip it unless you really want it. Instead, we're going to head up the path to the left in order to find our second weapon of this area, which you can find by jumping off this ledge. And that's the Crow Quills. Okay, so back to the rooftops yet again. This time we're going to take the ladder up and see what we find. Don't bother with this crystal bug to the left. It's a trap. Head instead towards this other trap that includes two wicked Corvians, one of the Freddy Kruegers and one of the, I don't know, melee plus range guys. You just want to drop down here onto this rafter. As you can see, one of them has joined us on the rafter, and there's no easy way to do this, but I'll show you how I did it. If you get lucky, this one on the rafter will fight you on the rafter, but I didn't get very lucky. So I went ahead and plunge attacked this other one and hoped for the best. And it actually went pretty well. My prize was the Way of the White Corona and a large Titanite shard, and my souls, and a shortcut. Outside of the building, you'll find a shortcut back to the bonfire, and in fact, if you don't want that miracle, it's probably easier to just jump off the roof and open the shortcut from there. But here we've got something real difficult. There's a NPC Invader in this building, and he's quite a struggle.
I see you.
Now, I kind of stink at parrying, but that seems like the best way to take this guy out. Do it however you want to. As you can see, I'm missing my parries anyway. But however you can get him dead, you need to get him dead, and you can't have any help on this. If you summon people, he will appear as a ghost, so you need to do this on your own. There I got a parry, and that's basically how I killed him, by repeatedly parrying him. It only took me 2 tries, which I considered extraordinarily lucky. But he chewed up most of my Estus before he gave up his prize. And that prize is the contraption key, which allows you to move forward. With the contraption key, you can go ahead and use this lever, which lowers this ramp and leads you to the next bonfire. Thank you, sweet Jesus. I'd guide you around this area, but I got lost myself, so I'll just kind of point out some interesting things and hope you can find them. Here I found the Follower's Shield. And here I found my first shortcut of the area. This led me back to the bonfire via elevator. If you're interested in getting the Earthseeker Great Axe or whatever it is, you'll want to come up this little ramp here and be prepared to die. I died twice trying to get it, but I guess I wanted to show everybody the location. Okay, so best case scenario is you take out this guy on the cliff so you don't have to fight 3 of them. The other 2 are still down in the valley. Aggro the second one with a bow and then do a plunging attack on him, and then you're just going to have to fight him. The weird thing here is, even though this guy isn't fighting with the Earthseeker axe, you still have to deal with a damn spell. It's just all over the place, even though the other guy isn't aggroed yet. This is the guy with the axe, but you've just got one more guy to take out, and behind him is the path to the actual weapon. He doesn't drop it. You get it out of the room behind him. After you take him down, go ahead and go claim your prize. The Earthseeker axe. Back to the bonfire and up the side of the mountain. Eventually you'll come to this. The Follower Torch. Let's go ahead and take a look at that thing. The weapon art allows you to do the Follower Fire Breath thing. It's pretty sweet. If you make it all the way to the top, you'll find yet another shortcut, which is pretty handy. That'll take us back to the bonfire roundabouts. And very close to the log that you kick down, you'll find a tunnel that takes you into an area full of a lot of bugs that cause bleed damage. Make sure you equip a torch. If you hold a torch, it will prevent bleed from building up. And these guys have bleed that builds up even after it pops. There's a ledge here that overlooks a room full of those bugs that will lead you all the way back to the chapel where we started this episode. Thank you, Jesus. Returning to the bug room and back to the opposite side, you'll find a secret door that will take you down. You can actually drop. It's not a very far drop, and you'll find a room full of bugs with one item in particular, or maybe a couple that are worth talking about. The primary objective here is to find this crank that will move the altar, reveal some stairs, and up in the chapel that will reveal the boss of this game. But before we leave this area, go ahead and find this secret door, which will lead you down to an area and an arena, which is actually Priscilla's arena from Dark Souls 1, where you'll fight a pyromancer, provided that you're embered, and get a special pyromancy. All you have to do is make it down this tree to that arena at the bottom, which is actually the ceiling of the Grave Tender's arena, and you'll go ahead and get to fight this NPC. The first thing you get is a special pyromancy glove when you first drop down here. You'll find it right here. You'll need to ember up in order to get this guy to invade you, because he is an invader, but if you kill him, you'll go ahead and get the floating chaos, which is a new pyromancy. Okay, so we're ready for one of the most difficult bosses in all of Dark Souls, I think, assuming you're doing her solo. This is Friede. And I tried a lot of different methods of dealing with her, and decided on trying to parry her in the first phase. I'm trying to stay real aggressive and getting a good time on this kill so I don't bore you to death. You've already been around for, what, 10 minutes. And she kind of wrecks me a little bit. This run actually went pretty well, and of course I do get the kill. But this first phase I don't do as well as I normally do. I'm using a lightning weapon. I'm using the lightning clutch ring as well. I am no longer fast rolling. That was originally my thing. Now at this point I'm not going to try to parry anymore, because I'm going to focus on the big guy instead. Try to get around him and keep yourself separated from her, because she'll mess you up while you're trying to do your business here. Try to keep an eye on them both. Now there she's healing. That's really awkward because he's about to do his AoE attack, so I can't even get in there, but I'm going to make the best of it. Backing up. I am two-handing and using strong attacks. This is an excellent attack to punish when he does that, because he's basically immobile for several seconds. And here I just kind of throw caution to the wind and try to take a couple extra hits and see what I can get done. You get a little bit of an intermission here in between the second and third phases. I think From was kind of fucking with us, trying to make us think we were done, and then kind of surprising us with a first ever third phase. But she will show up, and I learned this little trick from Dargan Souls. I couldn't duplicate all the stuff he did, but when she jumps here, you should be able to get a backstab. Just run right underneath her. It's all about spacing. Still two-handing my axe. I'm no longer buffed, but that's fine. If you can get close to her while she's doing these attacks, she'll reappear. And you can interrupt that. On this third phase, the big thing is just spacing and trying to pick your attacks. What can you punish? What can you not punish? That one you can punish. You need to dodge towards it, though. That one I find really irritating. She'll leave a trail of that ice. As long as you dodge that well, you should get a couple hits out of that, too. Here I come real close to getting a super fast kill, and I get a little greedy and almost die. That would have been a shame. But she goes ahead and gives me a nice punishable attack here to finish it off. Okay, so you know the drill. Leave a like and subscribe, and check back to see how I do on my SL1. I have beaten every boss in the main game with an SL1, but I have a feeling this area is going to prove pretty challenging.